Lagos.
I believe in opportunities.
I believe in youth empowerment, Jare.
I believe in big business.
I believe Lagos is incredible.
Together, we can build the Lagos of our dreams. I am Akinwumi Ambode.
Vote Akinwumi Ambode for Governor of Lagos State.
Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello everyone, this is CoreTV Primetime News with Nifemi Oguntoye. In our major story, Nigerian authorities issue alert on alleged plot by Boko Haram to disguise suicide bombers as shoemakers. Also in this program, PDP recalls suspended former chairman Bamanga Duko from suspension. At plans by the presidency to stop Muhammadu Buhari from contesting February presidential election. And outside Nigeria, United Nations says Ebola epidemic is still present in 3 worst affected West African nations. Thanks for joining us again. The Nigerian authorities have issued an alert on an alleged plot by Boko Haram to disguise suicide bombers as shoemakers or cobblers with improvised explosives hidden in their toolboxes. Coordinator of National Information Center Michael Murray disclosed this at a news conference in Abuja. He also claimed that the insurgents plan to use livestock to attack soft targets. Omeri, however, confirmed that Boko Haram recently released 192 persons who had been held hostage in insurgent camps.
Available intelligence indicate a plan by Boko Haram to use young male suicide bombers disguised as cobblers to hide explosives in their toolboxes and detonate them in soft target areas such as markets, restaurants, ATM locations, political rallies, worship places, as well as other public places. Also, there is indication of a plan by this group to use livestock such as goats, cows, and donkeys, loaded with explosives to attack chosen targets. In view of this, the general public, including all persons operating within and around the affirmation places, are advised to be vigilant and mindful of suspicious activities within their environment. Information available indicate that persons recently released by Boko Haram are presently in the custody or in a military facility in Yobe. Authoritatively, we can state that these persons are currently undergoing counseling and preparation, after which they will return home to join their brothers and our sisters.
Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba has charged Nigerian youths to refuse being used as political thugs by politicians as the February elections are forthcoming. He also called on the youths to distance themselves from all acts capable of impacting negatively on their personality and that of the country. Harper said this shortly after he received members of Arawa Youth Forum at the force headquarters in Abuja. He also charged the executive of the youth group to sensitize other youths in the country on the need to fully participate in community policing activities in their areas. Responding, the leadership of the Arawa Youth Forum expressed the determination of its members to work for a violence-free general elections. The People's Democratic Party on Thursday announced the lifting of the suspension of its former chairman, Bamanga Tukur. National chairman of the PDP, Adamu Muazu, announced the lifting of the suspension at the presidential rally of the party in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. Tukur was suspended in December 2014 for dragging the party before the court in his attempt to reclaim the chairmanship of the PDP, where he was forced to resign in January last year. The All Progressives Congress has accused the ruling People's Democratic Party of a grand plan to stop its presidential candidate, Muhammadu Buhari, from contesting the 2015 presidential election. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, revealed this to a group of senior journalists in Lagos. The report is presented from our studios.
In what is increasingly turning out a fierce battle ahead of February polls, the two leading parties in the country have continued to go for each other's jugular. In a stunning revelation, the APC, through its national spokesman Lai Mohammed, says the PDP is plotting a judicial process to stop Buhari from contesting the February 14th poll.
With just a little over 2 weeks to next month's general election, a rush of court cases have been instituted in an unrelenting effort to stop our presidential candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari. At the last count, at least 4 cases have been filed by those who are undoubtedly fronting for the PDP and the presidency, and are all working towards the same goal, which is stop Buhari, scuttle next month's election. We expect more cases to be filed in pursuit of this ignominious objective.
He explains that there is jittery in the House of the PDP since Buhari's choice as APC presidential candidate.
Since the emergence of General Buhari as the candidate of the APC at a well-organized and transparent national convention of our party last month, things seem to have fallen apart for the PDP and the presidency. And for them, the center can no longer hold. Indeed, General Buhari has become the nightmare for the ruling party and the presidency.
But what proof does APC have to show that the PDP has reached this level of desperation, especially when the entire world is focusing more than enough attention on Nigeria at this time?
They said things will unravel for the candidate and his party over the choice of a VP, of a vice presidential candidate. But not only did this evil prediction fail, a VP candidate who has been widely acclaimed as the best choice for the party and the country, in the person of Professor Yemi Osinbajo, emerged, further pushing the naysayers into sheer trepidation. Next, they are engaged in scandal mongering, that our candidate is not qualified to run because he did not have the prerequisite qualification. In fact, they so much believe their own lies that they swore to have found a foolproof way to stop General Buhari. Then their house of lies collapsed.
Could fencing out the foreign media, which the APC claimed is ongoing, be enough reason to shut out the outside world?
We also want to alert Nigerians and the international community to the systematic denial of visas to foreign journalists, wishing to cover next month's election. A regime that has nothing to hide or fear will not hesitate to allow international coverage of what is undoubtedly one of the most important elections in the world this year. Information reaching us indicates that most of the foreign journalists who applied for visas to travel to Nigeria from different parts of the world for the elections have been kept in abeyance under the guise of security clearance.
However, of note is this related allegation that appears even difficult for the APC to prove.
The rumor mill is spinning fast. Stories abound of a huge war chest of $100 million being earmarked to grease the palm of any pliable judge who can disqualify General Buhari and halt the electoral process. We do not know whether or not this allegation is true, but we do know that Nigerians do not want to return to Egypt.
But where could this eventually lead to?
If General Muhammad Buhari ran in 2003, 2007, and 2011, and there was never any issue with his meeting the prerequisite qualification, why have you made it an issue today? Is it because you have realized that it's poised to shellac President Jonathan at the polls? Why is an interim government an option for Nigerians are willing and eager to vote for change next month? Why we will continue to appeal to our members and supporters and all Nigerians to remain calm. We call on them, and indeed all Nigerians, to be vigilant, knowing that eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. We urge the Chief Justice of Nigeria to be a bulwark against the abuse of the courts just to achieve a predetermined end.
The days ahead will tell if the allegations raised by the APC will hold water as Nigerians and the rest of the world continue to watch.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress presidential flag bearer in the February 2015 election, Muhammadu Buhari, has expressed commitment to revamp the socio-economic fortunes of the people and help tackle erosion in Edo State, beside addressing the hydra-headed challenge of insecurity and corruption confronting Nigeria. Buhari disclosed this before an expectant crowd of APC faithful and leaders of the party at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, venue of Thursday rally in Benin City, the Edo State capital.
The APC presidential candidate was accompanied by his deputy, Yemi Osinbajo, the governor Rotimi Amechi of Rivers State, one of the party's leaders, Bola Tinubu, Governor Adams Oshiomhole, the host and the national chairman of the party, John Oyegu, who is from Edo State. Buhari appeals to Edo people to ensure the vote for the desired change as the huge crowd was thrilled all through.
We are going to make sure we rehabilitate the infrastructure. When PDP came into power, NEPA, or Power Holding Company of Nigeria, both of blessed memory, were producing about 3,000 to 4,000 kilowatts. Today, are producing less than that. With this amount of lack of accountability, there is no way Nigeria can survive. So before they kill Nigeria and kill us, we better vote out the PDP. We thank you very much.
Amechi, Oshiomhole, Tinubu, and Oyegu, in their separate remarks, described the leadership of President Goodluck Jonathan as gambling with the lives of Nigerians.
They are fleeing and they are stealing like no man's business. By now, with the prosperity, oil prices that we enjoy for how many years? 6 years of Jonathan. There's no single refinery that is producing enough for this country. Everywhere, north, south, east, west, it's all about promise. And none of these promises have been kept. to watch television, you see them showing you old schools at University of Benin. Buildings that are more than 20 years old. They are portraying them as new projects. There are no new projects. Even the Azure power. Our president, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, from South, admitted that he has done nothing in the South. You heard him, eh? Yes. Did you hear him? Yes. So, if in 6 years, if we do nothing in South, will he do anything before you? No. I have told Rivers people, every petrochemical in Rivers State, NAFCON in Rivers State, refinery in Rivers State, all were done by Hausa and women. Our president has spent 6 years. Did the president have spent 6 years? But he was able to do something.
The APC presidential campaign train thereafter moved to Ibadan, or your state capital.
But while the APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari at his campaign rally in Ibadan urged supporters to vote out the People's Democratic Party from power in order to experience a fresh beginning and a promising future. He advised supporters to disregard allegations made by the PDP about him, remain focused and ensure the votes count at the February 14 presidential election. We'll bring you details of that report subsequently. And now to Lagos, where Governor Babatunde Fashola has once again called on Lagosians to vote for the candidate of the APC, Akinwumi Ambode, as the next governor of the state. He described Ambode as a man of competence and intellectual capacity who has the capacity to take the state to the next level. Fashola spoke in Ekpe as the governorship campaign train of the APC made a stop in the town. Kazim Kasali's report on the rally is presented from our studios.
His arrival with the governorship candidates of the All Progressive Congress, Akinwumi Ambode, expectedly raised excitement levels as security personnel battled to control the crowd surge. When it was time to speak and introduce the homeboy to the crowd, Fashola again made a grand entry to the podium. He says competence and ability is what Ambode represents, adding that whatever is said on the campaign is not personal, but a means to let Lagosians know the true colors of those who want to lead them.
The oldest palace, who built it? The High Court, who did it? The primary health center, who did it? The first solar primary health center in Nigeria, who did it? Do you want that to continue? Who will continue for you?
Ambode in his speech says he aims to continue from where the present administration stops in addition to his own programs.
Time has come. Yes, we know we have tertiary institutions in the third division. Yes, we know we have an airport coming. We also have EPZ zone coming. But you know what? I will be with you from beginning to the end. I am going to stand by you. All our elderly ones, you have places to go to and you have comfort.
All the speakers charged the crowd to ensure that they pick up their permanent voters' cards, apparently in response to reports from INEC that over 3 million cards are yet to be picked up in Lagos. Battle of who emerges the next governor has continued to gain momentum.
National Hospital in Abuja beef up security of facilities. Find out why after this timeout. Stay with us.
From the west to the east, the north, and to the south of our country, the APC with their governors have been busy building a better life for Nigerians. The APC with their governors have built more roads, schools, bridges, hospitals, universities, and independent power plants, generated more internal revenue, and created more jobs than the rest of the Federation combined. Now, imagine what we could do when we are the federal government.
Vote for change! Vote APC! APC! Change! Your account is too low for this call.
Never get stranded with MTN Extra Time. You can now borrow airtime and pay back at your next recharge. Dial *606# now to enjoy the new MTN Extra Time.
MTN, everywhere you go.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. If you just joined us, a reminder of some of our major headlines. Nigerian authorities issue alert on alleged plot by Boko Haram to disguise suicide bombers as shoemakers. PDP recalls suspended former chairman Bamanga Tukur from suspension. APC hints at plans by the presidency to stop Muhammadu Buhari from contesting February presidential election. You can also reach us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle is at CoreTV News NJ. We're streaming live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV. Never space and news. Moving on now, former Defense Minister Theophilus Danjuma has called on Nigerian politicians, especially those seeking political offices, to refrain from attacking personalities in their campaigns ahead of the 2015 general elections. Danjuma, who once against toying with the peace of the nation, admonished members of the political class to abide by the rules of the game.
And my prayers are that we will have a transparent and peaceful election, and that the campaigns that are going on now, the degree of virulence in attacking individuals must be reduced. We need peaceful elections, and we cannot have it if we continue not to talk on issues, but on individuals saying slanderous things about each other.
Defense Minister was speaking on the sideline of the inauguration of the Kwankwassia City in Kano State. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has extended the ongoing distribution of permanent voter cards in the Federal Capital Territory by 1 week. It's now to end on February 7 rather than the eve of the election, suggested by some Nigerians. Resident Electoral Commissioner for the FCT, Jacob Jatuau, said at a news conference that 55% of registered voters have collected their PVCs as against the 42% earlier recorded. He is however keen on hitting between 60 and 70% collection rate before the close of the exercise.
There has been actually some noticeable improvement in the distribution of the cards. We are still facing challenges. We want to require that and urge the press to keep on informing people that these cards are going to be distributed. The time we have given is to the end of this week, which is 31st of January, for the distribution to end at that places. However, I want to say that when we consider the things, we may go on up to the first week of February to distribute these cards, most likely. So, but that one will come out towards the end of this week. That will pass that information.
The October 16, 2014 swearing-in of Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose ushered in a new dispensation. And as Fayose celebrates 100 days in office, he promises to run a government of human face with the commissioning of some projects and presentation of the official gazette of the state. Rashid was there and has more.
As part of activities to mark his 100 days in office, Fayose inaugurated projects which include ambulances, communal waste trucks, lock-up shops, and some township roads in Ado-Ekiti. The governor, while admitting the paucity of funds in the state, promised to bring the full dividends of democracy to Ekiti people.
When you have a willing heart, when you are desirous of success, and when you have the people at heart, you will discipline yourself in spite of the challenges to make a difference. The challenges are not enough excuses for us not to have anything to show.
The Ekiti State Government Gazette was presented publicly for the first time alongside subsidiary regulations by the Ekiti State Chief Judge.
When dealing with civil procedure rules, which I made sometimes under the existing High Court laws of Ekiti State.
It's an indication of the impartiality of the civil service as an institution and a veritable platform for the political class to implement their lofty programs and policies.
Fayose applauds efforts of the three arms of government in the development of the state and promises adherence to due process in dispensation of government business.
Politics will always play out because we have diverse interests, but it is the duty of the leader to be able to read between the lines and be able to make the best out of the system. Our problem in this part of the world is simply...
Observers are of the view that it is still too early to judge the Fayose administration, but hope it will fulfill its promises to the people. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
The National Hospital has beefed up security in its facilities in the aftermath of attempts by striking health workers to disrupt its operations. Now, this, according to the hospital management, is because doctors have been attending to patients in spite of the nationwide strike action. Chief Medical Director of the National Hospital, Jeff Momo, said at a news conference in Abuja that the management would not tolerate any attack on
many of our staff
who
are on strike have stayed at home. A few came around to see what was happening, those who are the union leaders. But as I said, we have provided security and we have provided excellent coverage in every ward to make sure that nobody was harassed. So we do not have the experience of somebody attacking somebody on duty because they are trying to provide care. As I always say, the person who you are taking care of today may be your brother tomorrow. You never can tell whose brother that person is. And Nigerians should see every other person as their brother or sister. We should be our brother's keeper. I cannot understand why somebody who's taking care of an unconscious patient will walk away simply because a strike has been called by your union. This does not follow international best practices.
We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with business and stories outside Nigeria. Don't go away.
Which person can you carry?
And we now for MTN
Catch Quest.
You see the look? Plenty people don't they win 10 million naira every week and 1 million naira every day. To win, just dial *170# for free and correct who go to wait you. Whether that TV or generator or phone, you fit win all for free every day.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Telecommunication Technology held its 14th ICT Industry Stakeholders Forum today in Lagos. At the event, the Minister of Communication Technology laid out her achievements in the last 4 years to stakeholders. A few are e-commerce, seed funds, connectivity, supporting networks, among others. I'm afraid we'll bring you details of that report later on, but the Naira shared at 1.64% to close at 189 Naira 10 kobo on Thursday, despite dollar sales by the Central Bank of Nigeria and oil companies. The Naira traded at about 191 Naira early on Thursday, prompting the CBN to intervene, which helped lift it to 155 naira 20 kobo, but it then finished weaker compared with its close of 186 naira on Wednesday after demand surged. Royal Dutch Shell had sold an undisclosed amount of dollars on Thursday, adding that liquidity from state-owned company NNPC's $350 million sale on Wednesday was still in the market. Time now to join Sabena Izoko for today's stock markets report.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
Hello there and welcome to the Stock Market Report segment with me, Sabena Izoku. The equities market on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed on a negative note today as the Nigerian All Shares Index depreciated by 0.89% to close at 29,642.38 basis points. The market capitalization decreased in the same manner to close at 9.87 trillion naira. A total volume of 917 million units of shares valued at 11.98 billion naira were exchanged in 3,889 deals. On the gainer side, Capstone topped the gainers chart to close at 38 naira 75 kobo with a gain of 2 naira 75 kobo, followed by 40 Oil, West African Production Company, Ashika Cement and Okomo Oil. On the flip side, Nestle topped the chart trailed by Flour Mill, Guinness, Nigerian Brewers and Stanbic IBTC. Meanwhile, Owando Oil topped the traders chart, followed by Fidelity Bank, Equitrust National Incorporation, Dangote Sugar, and First City Merchant Bank. Just before we wrap up the stock market report, here's the currency trade for today.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
On sports tonight, the former 3SE gaffer has been appointed to fill the void left by Mike Haber, who recently joined the newly promoted Wiki Tourists. Former head coach of Shooting Stars Sports Club, Festus Allen, has been named the new coach of the Nigeria Professional Football League club side, Sharks Football Club. In a statement to CoreTV News, the media officer of Sharks, Peter Agbaje, said the Port Harcourt outfit engaged the services of Allen following the departure of coach Abdul Maikaba to newly promoted Wiki Tourists. According to the club spokesman, the move for a new coach is one of the many the Blue Angels are making to intensify their preparation for the new season. Guinea qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations quarterfinals on Thursday after a drawing of lots was required to separate them and Mali. Now they will go through to a quarterfinal on Sunday in Malabo against Group C winners Ghana, while Mali goes on. The surreal event took place during a meeting of the tournament organizing committee at a hotel in Equatorial Guinea's capital, Malabo. A representative of each team was sent to take part. Each picked out a green ball with the winning one containing a piece of paper marked with a number 2 inside. Amara Dabo, the financial director of Guinea's Sports Ministry, picked out the winning ball with National Football Federation President Boubacar Baba Diarra representing Mali. Shola Amoebi has now joined Crystal Palace in a short-term deal until the end of the season. And as previously reported on SL10, the former Newcastle man looked close to joining West Brom a few days ago, but opted to join his former manager Alan Pardew at Palace instead. Amoebi played almost 400 games for Newcastle, scoring 79 goals. The 33-year-old Nigeria international departed England in May 2014 to join Turkish side Gaziantep, but he left Turkey in December. And now to tennis. Andy Murray came storming back after a poor start to best Thomas Berdych and reached his 4th Australian Open final. The British #1 lost a tense first set but recovered to win 6-7, 6-8, 6-0, 6-3, 7-5. It will be the 6 seed's 8th Grand Slam final and first working with Amelie Mauresmo, with ex-coach Daniel Vavdal now in Berdych's corner. Murray will play the winner of Friday's semi-final between Novak Djokovic and Stan Wawrinka. And now, outside Nigeria for other stories, the Ebola epidemic is decreasing but is still present in a third of the areas of the 3 worst affected West African nations, according to UN Ebola coordinator David Nabarro. Also, he was speaking at the African Union headquarters as leaders gather on Thursday, a day ahead of a summit meeting where Ebola is a key issue for discussion. The worst outbreak of the virus in history has seen nearly 9,000 deaths in a year, almost all in the 3 West African countries of Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, and sparked a major health scare worldwide. The 3 nations have been devastated by the outbreak, which began in December 2013, but all have seen recent signs that the virus is on the wane, with the number of new cases dropping weekly. And that wraps it on CoreTV Primetime News. Before we go, a recap of some other top stories. We reported that the Nigerian authorities have issued a alert on an alleged plot by Boko Haram to disguise suicide bombers as shoemakers. And also, PDP has recalled suspended former chairman Babanga Tukur from suspension. The opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, has hinted at plans by the presidency to stop Muhammadu Buhari from contesting February presidential election. On behalf of the production crew, I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for watching.